Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy winter solstice. We also have Sun in Capricorn for the winter solstice. So for any of you Capricorns out there, this would be your day. But I'm doing this reading for all zodiac signs specific. Start off with the So I'm doing a specific reading for the solstice today. And since we do have the Sun in Capricorn for the solstice, Capricorn is a earth sign, and it's connected to, it's a cardinal sign for its quality. You know, the symbol for Capricorn is a goat with like a mermaid tail, and you know, the goat symbolizes like climbing a mountain, going for your goals, being determined in your career, money, finances, concentration, and staying focused on your goals and ambitions, going for what you want and staying focused. Capricorn is a very materialistic sign that is very ambitious and independent. So just kind of wanted to share that about Capricorn because I kind of get the feeling the theme of all of this will be related to that energy of Capricorn. So, all right, we'll start with our first card. And our first card is our present situation. All right, the Tower, release, revelation, the Chameleon. So this card is reversed, and the Tower can be taken each way. It's a tower falling, right? Something has to give way, something has to change, right? Whatever it is in your life, whatever you're going through, there is something that is going to take place in a huge shift and change. I'll read the card for the Chameleon. Let's see here, 16. So, Chameleon. Chameleon is the shaman of adaptation, seizing the power of cloaking. He changes color to blend with his shifting surroundings. Life is change, and you have the choice to either accept change or to resist it. That's kind of what I was just saying. You know, the Tower reveals change. By clinging to ideas that no longer work within the structure of your spiritual evolution, the winds of revelation will force you to go with the flow. Chameleon is here to help you shift the colors of your state of being, setting you on the path to your highest truths. Relax, place trust in yourself, and release fear. By attuning yourself to the magic of Chameleon, you become more receptive to the powers around you. Keywords are change, sudden shift, release, upheaval, revelation, divine intervention, liberation. But since this card is reversed, the message for it is also grant yourself permission to undergo the experience of change. Allowing emotions to flow naturally will result in acceptance, release, and freedom of spirit. The keywords are entrapment, oppression, strife, ongoing depression. So whatever has kept you stuck, you know, whatever has left you feeling unfulfilled, you know, in your life that has been, you know, very negative, where you feel like you've had to blend in with your surroundings instead of standing out, or just, how should I put this? Yeah, just feeling like you're stuck in that way of having to stay to the same old, blending in with the same old environment, instead of allowing yourself to be like a chameleon, change colors, change the way you reveal yourself, and, you know, change the way you go about, you know, revealing yourself in your situation. Like, you know, because the chameleon's all about changing, you know, his camouflage his skin color to his environment. So whatever environment you're in, that you've blended in, that you've been in for a while, that is no longer giving you what you need, it is time to change, shift, change your color, change your skin like the chameleon, and switch to a different environment. That's where the tower is kind of falling. You know, whatever changes you're resisting, it's time to open up and release that attachment and allow the changes to take place in your life so you can move along in your journey. So the cause of this issue, let's see, the shadow, self-empowerment, ambition, was also reversed, and this is the jackal. Whoops. Yeah, okay, I'll read that one as well. The shadow is the ego of the self, you know, the darker side of our life, you know, the sides of ourself and our environment that is in the dark that we are not seeing. All right. Clever jackal always finds the tools needed to unlock trapped energy. Jackal is the master of the land of shadows that live within the subconscious. By dancing with his shadow self, he is reborn with new insight and spiritual wisdom. Everyone has a shadow self composed of desires, repressed thoughts, and instincts. It represents the unknown and is necessary to embody the whole truth self. Without it, we are fragmented by accepting all sides of yourself, including anger and fear. You can master your shadow self instead of letting it control you. The shadow self is a powerful source for creative energy. It is repressed, the inner fire is extinguished, and blockages occur. As a hunter of opportunity, Jackal will guide you in overcoming the illusion of limitations. Self-empowerment is born from action combined with expression. So release yourself from creative restrictions. Imagination is the ultimate power. You need not be weighed down by an unhealthy situation. Break free from constrictive energies that hold you back. Keywords: illusion, fear, addiction, anger, obsession, self-destruction. Yeah, so basically, you know, whatever is holding you back from making a positive shift for yourself that you've been afraid to move forward with because you feel like maybe you won't succeed, whether it's, you know, quitting one job to get a new job because the job you're in is no longer giving you what you need financially, or you're not passionate about it and it doesn't make you feel good. If anything, it makes you feel depressed and gives you anxiety. It's not helping you fulfill your life's purpose. So if like you're in a situation where there's a job you're in, you know, Capricorn's tied to career and ambition, so I'm kind of putting this around career. But it can also be relationships, family. It can be a lot of different things, but the energy I'm getting is more career. So yeah, if there is a job you're stuck in that you're not happy with, but you're in fear about changing that job to find something better that is more suitable, that brings you to your happiness and what you're passionate about, then it's time to, you know, get untangled out of that job, put in your 2 weeks and say, okay, cut the ties, go for something better because you deserve more, but you have to concentrate on what you want and be ambitious to go for that, just like the goat climbing the mountain. You know, Capricorn's all about being very ambitious and what Capricorn wants, and knows that he or she will reach the top of that mountain as long as you put forth the effort to get there. And that's the same with having like whatever you want in your career. For you to get there, you have to take the steps to make it happen, but you also have to let things go along the way. So if like there is a job that is not serving you and is not giving you what you desire financially or just what you're passionate about, then you've got to detach and let that go and stop being afraid and being in fear and an illusion that you can't have that career, that job that you ideal, because you can. You just have to allow the winds of change to come through and happen in your life, so then you can create a better new chapter for yourself in your career. So, and that's where the shadow kind of comes in play, you know, playing tricks, things being in the dark, confusion, illusion. Once you shed the light in the dark, you'll see where you need to go. And so that definitely is the issue of the situation at play. But I'll move on to the next card. Change is needed to resolve your issue. King of Acorns, optimism, innovation. So King of Acorns is King of Wands in the tarot. And the element it stands for is fire. There's a horse for this card. This card was also reversed. And I will read this card as well. Okay. So, energetic and charismatic horse is a visionary with a dynamic demeanor. This fireball of a spirit will demonstrate how to discover your own freedom and embrace your greatest potential. Don't hold back. Pursue the path of horse by fashioning your natural leadership qualities and celebrate your ever-shifting awareness of your spiritual expansion. Like horse, you encompass a strongly burning fire within, and you have a greater ability to adapt than you may realize. Behold your unique voice and let loose your wild spirit. If you feel like you're wasting time, focus your energy on something that is more meaningful to you. It's okay to change your mind if a situation is influencing you negatively. Keywords: intolerance, unpredictability, overbearing. Yeah, so to resolve this issue, you basically want to free yourself from what's constraining you from being free in what you desire to do with your life and with yourself and your time. If you're wasting time sitting idly, not doing what you actually enjoy, whether that's a job you hate or, holding yourself back from going to college or starting up that business that you've had in the back of your mind for years, but you've been afraid and in fear to start because of fear of failure or just fear of not making enough money, you have to free yourself from those constraints and just be in your passionate energy. Be like the element of fire and go for it. Be optimistic and, take the initiative to just try and go for it, because that's what will resolve the issue of your depression, your unhappiness with where you're at. Why stay stuck and trapped in a place you really don't want to be in just because you want to try to survive and make money, if even you're getting that money, but that money isn't giving you what you really need in your fulfillment of happiness, to be, free of worries, of just not, giving yourself what you've always dreamed of having in your life. In order to allow those changes to be in your life, you have to accept the changes and not be afraid to surrender to the flow of life in that way, trusting that whatever you're letting go of is meant to just be a lesson, so then you can have what your heart really desires. Because you're not being true to yourself if you're not giving yourself the freedom to do what you're really passionate about in your career. And it's okay to be afraid, but don't be so afraid to the point where you just keep letting the same old routine job take over your life, or the same old thoughts just tell you, I can't have that, or it's not possible. Those are just fears and illusions. You can have that freedom and be in your strength and that fiery energy and just go for it. So, be free as a horse and don't be afraid to be in your strength in that way. It's definitely important to be energetic and enthusiastic and be a leader in creating your life and your career the way you see it. So I'll move on to the next card, which is your own strengths needed. Awareness. In the tarot, this would be the Magician. So to be in your strength, you need to be aware of yourself, aware of the magic, the potential that is within you. The Magician, he carries this magic within himself to create whatever he envisions in his life. But the Magician also represents illusion, trickery. You're either going to live in this illusion of you'll never have it, or you'll be in this awareness of I can be it, I can do it, I can have it, I can go for it. That is being in your strength, is realizing the magic and your potential of manifesting your dreams, your career. But again, being like Capricorn, working hard, climbing to the top, sweating, doing all, like, you know, it takes work to get the career you want. It takes effort. It takes sacrifice. And it takes, you know, passion and magic. Like, magic, I call it, you know, everyone has their own, like, perspective of what magic is. I see magic as more of energy, you know. The energy is in your hands. What are you going to do with your energy? Are you going to be stagnant and, you know, hold it within yourself and entrap it? Or are you going to free it and put it out there and connect and be aware of what you can do with it, the power that is in your energy? It's like magic. And when you're aware of that, you can do so many great things with it. And that is where it comes back to realizing your potential and your strengths, but it's also realizing your weaknesses. And your weaknesses are whatever is not giving you the stigma of your health, whatever is making you stagnant. So in order to be in that flow, to be aware, there is a sacrifice that comes to getting to that point of awareness. You have to go through something in your life that's hard to finally become aware of it, right? And so that's where, when you realize there's a job you're in that you're no longer enjoying, or you're just not making enough money and you're trying to survive, but you're realizing this is not you. This is not where you want to be. This is not what you envisioned for yourself in your life. You know, and or like, you know, or even in a relationship, you know, even though I'm making this about career, it's also like, if you're in a relationship that is holding you back from going for what your heart is really wanting, then you gotta, like, free yourself up of all those sticky situations and finally give yourself the freedom to be in your bliss and your magic and your potential. So, yes, Magician is a very good reminder of how we can channel those energies. Because as you can see, like, he's channeling the energies of the universe because he is using his magic, his power. You can do the same for yourself. So you can finally be in your strength, because that is what's needed for you to progress in your life and be ambitious and succeed. All right. And so the next card is in the placement of other challenges to be overcome. Universe. This is also in the tarot. This is the card for the world. Again, it connects with this card. Connect with the energies of the universe. Believe in the synchronicities that happen around you. Believe that the universe will provide you with what you need to overcome those challenges you are in your life, with your career, with where you're at, or in a relationship. But you have to open up yourself to those energies and be aware of yourself to then connect with the energies of the universe in a way that gives you all these opportunities that the world has to offer you. And, you know, that is very critical and crucial in order to strive to be the person you've dreamed of being for a very long time. And so the world is kind of showing us, like, there's so many possibilities, but are you going to overcome those challenges to, you know, reach for those possibilities and make those connections and really believe that the universe is on your side on that journey? Because the universe always will be, as long as you're being true to yourself. That's what it comes back to. And the solution to this is the Goddess Oracle deck, and we have Pele. Divine Passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desires? And even Pele in this, in her definition, I'll even just read it, even though I already know it, but it has to do with career. If you listen to the sound of your heart and breath, you'll recognize the ancient rhythms of your own internal drumming. This forever connects you to the mother of all creation and to the sound of the planet Earth. These rhythms can't be faked or forged. They're natural and internal. What part of you are you trying to ignore? What part of you has been overly concerned with pleasing others, to the detriment of hearing the sound of your own rhythm? Dear child, reach out and extend your arms to embrace your dreams. They're just as much of a part of nature as the trees, animals, and sunsets. Don't your own dreams deserve the same respect that you